go. Malice going first with Anthony as his pilot, so you've gotta be pretty scared, I think, given the most intimidating deck when going first against with one of the stronger pilots in the room.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them is obviously, I would say, yeah, absolutely used to being on stream, but Anthony has had, I would say, even more breakthrough performance in the final of YCSs. You know, he absolutely, I don't know, it's in a way it's an heartbreaking match, because I feel like they both absolutely deserve a shot at, you know, going to the World Championship, but it just makes it so much better for us to just, you know, stand by and watch what these two amazing duelists can accomplish. But Anthony, thinking about it quite a bit, is that pricing at all? All right, we do normal.
Yeah, quite a suboptimal card to start the duel with, so I guess we can see why he had to think about it for a while. Oh my goodness, is that the
Holy Sue
terror of a Holy Sue?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, is he actually going to do it? I think people were like dreaming of this, where you just start with absolutely crazy.
What a start.
Oh, wow. What a start it is indeed.
Wow, this is the absolute dream for Lorenzo.
Wow,
that's it.
issue face down, and that might just be it. Lorenzo able to just do what has been considered impossible by many. What an opener from the former Italian national
Is he going to destroy us? No way.
Wow.
This is absolutely crazy.
What a hand.
Yeah, the only thing is...
You don't want to give the card back first,
yeah,
right?
exactly. That's what I was thinking. But, right, this turn absolutely incredible by Lorenzo. We now start things off the same, and that's it. Game one immediately goes to the Italian, and you can see Anthony, I mean, smiling it off. He's like, okay, all right, that was quick. What can I do about it? Wow.
If that's how you want to play it,
That's it.
I mean,
yeah.
that's just, you know, Vanquish All 101 for you guys. And I mean, doesn't surprise me that he made it all this far. He has been growing like this. So let's see.
An absolute dream for Lorenzo. I mean, a lot of players are, you know, saying this Malice deck, you have that big advantage in the first game because the deck is so strong. But then when you go into games 2 and 3, there are all these side deck cards. So you've got to think, if you're Malice and you're losing the first game, that's got to be pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the quickest game one we've seen so far the whole weekend, right? It's just, you know, less than 2 minutes, I guess. But, I mean, we've mentioned it. I think Vanquish All is super scary to play against the deck. And, you know, like... Lorenzo Mosalek's piloting it, so...
Yeah, I mean, we have been teasing about it either since the playoffs that we didn't witness at all Malice losing while going first, even a game. And, well, here we shift to the, you know, to the big sharks in the pool or in the pond, as we have, you know, changed yesterday. And we see the immediate difference. And I do agree with you, Tom. This is significantly impactful, not only because Artifact Lancia comes into the picture for the remainder of the match, but also because it loses the die roll, and now it means that Lorenzo, even if he, you know, goes to lose game 2, will have a chance at going first, and that is huge. And you can see, you know, how much of that puts pressure on Anthony.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure on Anthony. As you say, like going second into Vanquish Soul can be very tough for the Malice deck. Malice is a Link deck, it's a Cyburst deck, so the premium way to interact with it is to destroy monsters or take them off the field. And Vanquish Soul's just got so many different ways to do that. You can do it with Razen, you can do it with Holy Sue, you can do it with Snow Devil. There's just, yeah, so many ways to remove those monsters.
Are you surprised that Anthony is not playing GWC Soul 6 at all? Because we've seen it, you know, like in action, and it was very powerful.
Yeah, his deck list is very different to what we've seen from a lot of other decks. One thing I'm seeing there is no Mol Charmies, which is crazy. I think it makes your deck so much stronger going first. But Malice isn't really a deck where you tend to worry about going first that much. But I mean, maybe he was right, because he just got absolutely taken apart there with a slightly weaker hand. But
and I guess, yeah, he won't be too mad about that, knowing that, you know, there are a lot of Vanquish Souls and he's up against it. If there is a deck against which, you know, you can be fine not having those Mulcharmies, it's probably this one. But our duelists are ready. Are we just going to see a quick show from Lorenzo, or can Anthony bring us to game 3? Let's find out. Let's see, you can hear the tension in the air, feel it, and is there going to be Mulcharmy? Is there going to be Lancia? That is the question.
Yeah, Lancia, another scary card. You got to think it'll be quite popular in
We
the
see
Vanquish
it,
Soul deck.
No artifact Lancia, at least we can assume we would have seen it here on the Malice in Underground, and that at least is a better opener for Anthony, who obviously had a quite subpar end regardless. But do we see Meowls maybe, or do we have anything like that in the deck for Lorenzo?
So this would be a good time for a Chaos Hunter if there are any.
But no, it seems like, ooh, even the effect goes through.
okay.
Interesting, yeah. That seems a bit surprising considering the amount of interruptions that Lorenzo is using.
Yeah, you got to think at this point, you'd probably have been stopped with almost all of the most popular interruptions. No sets even to protect the Dormouse from things like Veiler Imperm or such.
Yeah, because now it gets significantly tougher once we have access to those powerful trap cards set. And we might just have a similar game to what we've witnessed most of the weekend with the Malice deck just going through. First, another chance to have an interruption here, maybe Didi Crow or Bestials. Not quite.
Didi Crow would be quite the side deck choice against against Malice.
Indeed.
There are times it's sort of okay, but I don't think you'd ever really keep it in your deck if you had the
Definitely
choice.
not. The only, I mean, the best thing it has going for it, it's its attribute, I guess. So always gotta keep in mind, you know, the check of different attributes that you have. But yeah, for now it seems like Lorenzo is just gonna allow his opponent to perform it combos.
Anthony picking up their second copy of the field spell. I'm wondering if he plays no Malice in the mirror. His deck seems to be very light on Malice cards.
Yeah.
He's not playing it, Tom. No.
No, it seems like he really doesn't want to draw into any sub-car cards, let's say. Just full, very streamlined engine, I'd say, and the rest is just head traps.
Yeah, that's a really interesting take on the deck. I don't think I've really seen anyone pilot it in quite this
extent.
manner.
Yeah. Ooh, but here
There's
comes at least an Nibiru from Lorenzo, who is not gonna just be a spectator in his own match.
But Anthony going to push on regardless.
Too bad he didn't sign the token as you did, Tom. That's the etiquette, I've heard.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, this is also another interesting take by Anthony, who decided to include additional, you know, backups in the side deck. So just prioritizing consistency when going first.
Yeah, just the one backup. It seems like a very interesting way of playing it. But it should do the trick here. Gonna get him back to a Malice monster on the field. Gonna get to see two more draws for Anthony. That March Hare opening up so many new avenues for the deck, allowing you to play that much more on your opponent's turn, allowing you to recur cards from the banishment. I think there's some extent to which Malice is the only deck that can afford to play these sort of hand traps like Veiler and Ogre and things, because Malice is the only deck that can really like push back against another Malice deck with these cards, whereas anything else, I think you're going to have a tough time.
Really curious to see the choice of Anthony not playing the Mulcharmies at all, because I think it's one of the must-have of the weekend for sure, but also, you know, very nice additions in his main deck.
Can we check what options, given, you know, his unusual build he has in the extra deck, maybe for his end field? Is it
He's playing a light code, And
Okay. Bomber, Topologic.
He's
is
not
it?
playing Topologic.
Okay.
Nope.
So now we still see this firewall that we have come across multiple times already during the playoffs. Different ways to go about it. We have not really used any interruptions, so not like we can recover something useful from the grave. So we're just gonna have a draw and possibly just keep it as an interruption.
We might just want to recur a card and then turn it into an allied code toolkit or something like that. I think a bounce is super important against
Definitely not.
Vanquish Soul. They bounce their own cards anyway. Could give them the Nibiru back just to send a message. So you enjoy it. You could always just pick up a card for next turn, maybe put the March Hare back in hand or something.
Oh. Do we use it at all?
I was going to say, is there really nothing you want in your hand?
Fair enough. Okay, completely forgoing the effect and just going instead for this Talker. But do we have any way to fight back against this field? Definitely a good start with the Pot of Extravagance. We'll immediately ask a question of, do you want to possibly negate it? I think like for every, generic negation, it has always been a question ever since the start. Do you negate the card that draws true? Is it Desirous Extravagance? And I've heard different answers.
I'm feeling against Vanquish Soul, 100% you do, because they have so many different ways to
Never mind.
play, but they need a big hand to do so. So you cut them off 2 cards, Lorenzo's going to be down to 4. So if he starts summoning Vanquish Soul monsters, his hand might not have all those monsters in hand that he needs.
Totally agree, but we do have Ash anyway, so that's an easy answer. And yeah, this seems quite the rough spot for the Italian. And we try to push through with the Mad Love.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. Anthony's got his pick of things to do here.
Yeah, I mean, full hand,
Plenty of cards in
really
hand as
pick your
well.
poison kind of situation.
You could always just wait and let the field spell activate and then chain that MTP.
Yep, seems like that will be the case indeed.
MTP, one of the most powerful interruptions you can have. Oh, troll.
Troll. Wow.
We also have a troll. Yeah, I mean,
Is he not going to chain? Oh, he's going to chain it. Good stuff.
yeah.
Ideal opener from Anthony, because now with the MTP. He also has another interruption here with the Mad Love being banished.
This is exactly what his deck is set up to do. Just a couple of Malice cards needed to start the combo, and then a fistful of hand traps to back it up.
I mean, I would be shocked if Lorenzo managed to find a way around this. But never count out the Italian. We have seen him in tough spots in the past, and he's always tried at least. He is a fighter. Like, he's not someone who is gonna make it easy for you. And to be fair, game 1 lasted really couple seconds, so they have all the time in the world to play this one out. Okay, Heavy Burger was it? Review? Yeah.
Revealing Heavy Burger.
Oh, this
him
one.
plays too.
Wow.
I mean,
What a hand there was. Impulse, Ash, Draw.
yeah.
It's just the power of the Malice deck, especially when you get to go first. You're going to draw, like he drew 3 cards extra.
Yep.
And he only needed 1 card to start his combo.
Fair,
So
this was a solid hand from Lorenzo as well. But yeah, he has seen enough, and that means that we will go to game 3. Well, I mean, not many players can find a way out from what was this opening from Anthony. He really showed us, and I think he also wanted to send a message after the rough start that, no, I'm here to play, I'm here, I'm not gonna, make it easy, I'm gonna give my best, and I mean, we've briefly mentioned about how his deck list make the deck that seems to be arguably one of the best going first, even better at going first, and this is the reason why. If you don't have, those charmies, obviously in the main deck, you can just draw into these kind of interruptions and make your opponent life just even tougher.
Yeah, one card though that I would really like to have, I think, against the Vanquish Soul deck in particular is Molchami Perulia. One card that will just stop them going as far in the combo for basically free, because it's going to replace itself almost certainly. So, but Anthony's definitely going to have a plan against the Vanquish Soul deck, so it'll be interesting to see what it is he tries to do.
Yeah, now it all comes down to this game 3. I think both of our players are really, trying to fight back, especially because we have a very quick game 1 in this game 2. I really feel like Anthony had it all. I mean, could have even been stopped from Lorenzo, and although Lorenzo's hand was good, but not enough at all.
I wonder about Mistaken Arrest in particular, which is a very popular side deck card in Malice, whether you'd even keep it in going second against Vanquish Soul, because they're going to want to search a lot of cards potentially on your turn. Might help them run out of cards, but maybe, again, just a card that you can't use on their first turn is a bit too weak.
It doesn't seem like that is the case. I see it in the side deck from Anthony. He's just thinking about the remaining cards from his engine, but he seems pretty decided on those staying in the side deck for this one. But yeah, we have seen the card in action multiple times. It's just so strong in the matchups he's good against, and this is definitely one of them. And yeah, seems like the final decision has been made. Unfortunately, no matter how good they are and no matter how amazing of a run they have had, one of these two players has to be knocked out. So without further ado, let's find out who will be the winner and who will be advancing to the top 32.
Here we go. Going to see how well Anthony's strategy of siding in all of these different hand traps is. Running the non-standard ones, or at least they were standard ones. I feel like the standard ones at the moment are, of course, the Molchamis.
Let's see. Big moment playing through an entire season, and this could make it or break it. Obviously, we're not going to see the small charmies as mentioned, but again, the pot of extravagance from Lorenzo as a start.
The best start, I would say, so far in the deck. Let's see if maybe Anthony has another Ash Blossom as in game.
Yep. Or a Droll and Lock Bird.
Here we go, he's getting to draw 2. Will we see a Droll though, if no Ash?
Is there a Droll? It could be extremely annoying. Doesn't seem like that is the case. Great news for Lorenzo, and yeah, there is none. So we proceed to activate reinforcement of the army, which is just such a strong opener for the deck.
Yeah, it feels like once they have a 6-card hand and a Razin, it's going to be so difficult to stop them with any one interruption. You can try and
Indeed.
Even if Vela was to succeed on a Razin, for example, you just make a rock, bring it back, and then you're still going to have a big hand anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. But we do have the Olisu to start instead.
Only downside of Extravagance is you cannot then use Heavy Borga to draw a card, but you've already got your 2 cards, you might as well.
I think you'll live with it. Okay, do we see a response?
Might we even be seeing the Paradise Smasher when you go first with this powerful a hand in the Vanquish Soul deck?
Is Anthony thinking about it? Yeah, okay.
And there is the Effect Veiler.
Feels like a very big gamble.
Indeed, but paid off. So we will proceed to normal summon the Razin.
Is there another one?
quite the interesting clash to me. Here comes the infinite impermanence. And yes, it's going to resolve.
Just amazing how different this game would have been with a single Borga or Caesar Valius in the hand for Lorenzo.
Indeed.
Would have turned it completely upside down. But Lorenzo's still not out of moves, can summon this Dr. Madlove from hand. Oh, we're going to see a third interruption from Anthony.
Not quite. Seems like that has been enough. And
There are some Ghost Ogres in the side.
it
that's
is
what
Ghost
we're doing.
Ogre. Wow. I mean, we've mentioned it. He has a different version of the deck that we have been seeing all weekend. And for now, at least, it seems like a promising start from Anthony. But Lorenzo still has quite a few resources available and possibly non-engine coming from his side deck.
Yeah, here we go. Anthony used a full 3 cards to stop Lorenzo from doing anything too scary. But that Holy Sue still in play, so any card in Lorenzo's hand could be used to complement it. As well as that Dr. Madlove. God, there's so many interruptions, even after being hit with 3 from Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite tense.
But I think this is a really tough field, but it really depends what is left in Lorenzo's hand. It's getting to use the effect.
Here goes Ash Blossom from Lorenzo.
That's amazing to me. No Dr. Madlove, no Holy Sue.
Giving up a precious fire, possibly.
You've got to think maybe he's just light on attributes to use. I mean, the fire can be replaced if the rock resolves to add Razum back, but what do you need for...
And it's a
Dr.
pass. Oh, it's a pass from Anthony. Wow.
Is that not a Razum engrave?
I feel so.
Yeah.
You don't want to add it?
Oh, there's another.
Oh, wow. Here comes another part of extravagance. And yeah, this seems just like the advantage will go through the roof. And wow, although it was definitely a tense match, is now going quite in favor of the Italian. And here comes Raisin. Wow, once more, 2 cards in hand for Anthony.
Yeah, at least one of them's got to be a Malice card as well, given he activated the Chessy Cat, so potentially just one piece of interaction. It's going to be so tough for that one piece of interaction to get him over the line.
Yeah. And it's so much damage here. And yeah, you can see Lorenzo has done this before, not wasting any time, playing quickly through his lines.
Only card really that could turn this game around. It's got to be a Nibiru, but Lorenzo probably seen that idea before.
Yeah.
Going to keep the summons to a minimum. That's only
He's
2 so far.
Yeah. I mean, this pretty much already does it. Like, you don't really need to do all that fancy, I guess, stuff. I think this is exactly what he's counting. Some damage, never a good sign. This is the 3rd summon from Lorenzo.
Yeah, I think even this is enough.
There goes the 4th, and yeah, it absolutely seems like it's going to be enough damage. We can push the additional 1500 with the heavy burger. And that's also what Anthony has come to the conclusion. Lorenzo Muselli advances to the top 32. What a match! What a match indeed it was. Definitely, you know, a roller coaster of emotions right from the start with Anthony winning the die roll, but then opening an almost unplayable end and just being interrupted by what we gotta say was also an amazing opener by Lorenzo with the Lolly Sue, you know, dream scenario. But I mean, he showed us once more why the Malice deck has already sent the 100% of participants that could have been sent to the World Championship here in Europe. We'll see whether that trend remains. And I think, speaking of, we can, while we wait, you know, for the interview with Lorenzo, finally bring up the breakdown for the top 64 here at the European Championship. And look at that. Vanquish Soul dominating at the top with Mitsurugi rising.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. Absolutely wild to see that, you know, in the playoff that we had last, just on Friday, Malice was really the deck to beat. It sent the 3 players to the World Championships, and, you know, it was the deck everyone seemed to be prepared for, and it was the deck 7 players were playing. But now, all of a sudden, it's gone 23% starting, the most popular deck, and is now fallen to Mitsurugi Raizio and fallen to Vanquish Soul.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see now also in the top 32 which of our players will advance with the Vanquish Soul. We have seen quite a few names at the top tables, such as Joshua Schmidt as well, playing Vanquish Soul. And yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, along the line, like, I'm not really sure what deck to pick, to be fair, but you know, what a field.
Yeah, I guess to help you with that pick, do you want to try and have a guess at what some of these 5 other decks are?
Well, I guess we saw at least one Blue Eyes on the just recently.
Mermail. That's right. There is indeed one Blue Eyes Primite, there is indeed one Atlantean Mermails, and the 3 remaining decks we have also seen on stream earlier on, because one of them is the Life Twin deck that has performed pretty well now in day 2, and alongside it we also have the Regenesis deck who made it, so that's great news for all of the fans, as well as possibly the biggest surprise, arguably, Sky Striker made it. So we do have one Sky Striker deck in top 64. Definitely, you know, looking forward to seeing some of that in action. We'll see what, you know, once the top 32 settles down, what are some of these decks remaining, and obviously we'll try our best to give you guys an idea of what are both the players, the nationalities, the names, and remain. But for now, I think the deserving attention is on Lorenzo Muselli, once again claiming a clutch spot in the top 32 and having a chance to join us in Paris. So let's hear it from him.
Lorenzo Muselli indeed joining me here in the analysis corner. First of all, congratulations on that victory in top 64 there. Is this your weekend? Are you destined to go to the World Championship?
Hopefully, it's my dream, so I hope this is the weekend.
And is Vanquish Soul the deck to do it with?
Yeah, I like this kind of deck that doesn't lose to a particular card like Malice or Riser Mitsurugi. Like in Bologna, I play Castilla. I play a lot Castilla. And this seems Castilla like extravagant. This kind. Also, I choose Vanquish Soul because going second, you had not just the Molcharmis, but also Olisu as game 1. That was
indeed game 1. That was crazy. Let's say, how long ago did you decide to play Vanquish Soul? Like, how many weeks ago? When did that moment happen that you said, okay, Vanquish Soul is the deck?
So 1 month ago, I look at the cards and immediately I say I want to play this deck. Then I tested a lot this deck and I try a lot of cards and I build the perfect list in my opinion. So
it looks very, very good, and I mean you were already kind of spoilering it, but game 1 you really showed how to work with those Vanquish Soul cards, of course. The March Hare normal summon kind of gives away that the hand from Anthony is not that great, right? Because it's a bad start. So you just immediately thought you have to go after this, right?
Yeah. If he summon March Hare, probably has another March Hare in hand or just a Bestial or backup.
Yeah.
And now the best play against Malice is to take with the Holy Su, so I had the opportunity to do it. And also I had Razen to pop with Caesar. It was FTK.
Yeah, your hand was really, really, really good, as you also had the Caesar values indeed. And we got to keep the highlight rolling, because there we go. Your opponent sets 2 cards. You look into your hand, you have the Caesar Valias, and that is also now going to put in some more work. And I think you destroyed an infinite impermanence there. And then shortly after, your opponent was already scooping because there was no way to go. How often did you summon Holy Su throughout this tournament in turn 0?
2 times.
Only 2 times? That's not a lot.
Times. Yeah, 2 times, and this is the best because...
it's a good moment to have it, and losing with Dyrel and starting like that.
Yeah.
That is pretty sick, actually. So you won that first game super quickly, and we do head into a second game then there. And I think Nibiru was your only interruption in game number 2, right?
Unfortunately, I was just only on Nibiru, and I know that was probably over, but I tried.
Fair. And why did you decide to use the Nibiru here at this very particular moment, as we have the Nibiru coming down there?
I decided to Nibiru here because I don't know backup in hand. So the next play was Chessicat ban Marcher.
Okay.
And to continue play, he has to invest the normal summon the Marcher because he uses Splash Mage.
True.
So I think that this is the perfect spot, but he has backup, as you can see. So
yeah, exactly. Immediately linking it off, Link Spider into backup, so he just keeps on going. It's really hard to use Nibiru perfectly against a Malice deck, right? Because they always have, it seems like they always do have that way to continue. So usually you need something else to pair it up with, right? What's the best card to pair Nibiru up with in your deck?
I think probably, I don't know, probably Purulia.
Purulia is pretty
because
good.
He plays with Splash Mage, then Binder.
He plays a weird combo, you could say,
weird
right?
Combo, then Nibiru, and he has to commit from the end. Like backup, Merchair.
A card that's also kind of weird against Malice, but we saw in your opening hand in game 1, DD Crow. You play that in your main deck, and it's weird the right word for the Malice matchup, because it's not that great against it, right?
It's not that great in Malice matchup, but I have to play it in Vanquish Soul because I need Dark.
The Dark attributes, okay, that does make sense.
Also saved me a match in Swiss against Mermail, DD Crow on Shadow Squad, this kind of cost.
Okay, I mean, the other matchups you can definitely make that work for sure. Then, actually, the commentators were wondering before game 3 whether your opponent, whether Anthony, could bring in Mistaken Arrest going second versus Vanquish. So do you think that is something people are doing, or that is good to do? Because, of course, you're searching a lot on the opponent's turn as well, technically.
I think that I tested also Malice against Vanquish Soul.
Okay.
And I think with Malice you have to prevent Vanquish Soul. You can't cure, you can't add a board breaker approaches. You have to play a lot of entraps to try to stop. Game 3, my opening hand was amazing. This is.
Speaking of game 3, we have the next highlight right on the radar, right on the menu, and that game 3. You started with Extravagance, and then there was no Droll and Lockbird, so you followed up with Reinforcement of the Army. I'm curious, you showed that you have the Raisin, but then you went with the Holy Su first. In terms of sequencing, why did you decide to sequence it that way? Just because of attributes?
For Fuvalos, because he didn't. If he used Fuvalos here, I can special summon from the deck with the Holy Su.
True. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Because if I normal summon Razen, he did Fuvalos just for Link 1 and can chain Holy Su just to gain an additional summon.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's very smart. It's always good to hear from such great players as you that you just can play around certain cards like that. Always want to have that. I think you're one of the best technical players we have in Europe, maybe even in the world, and therefore hearing those little things from you can definitely help players watching at home for sure as well. And then a card. How often have you faced this card throughout this weekend? Because you activate your Vanquish Soul start and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. That card is more popular than I thought this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, against Vanquish Soul is good because the open win Mad Love is weak to every end. Ogre is good to stop the fear spell, and I think he's good against the matchup. So, but just against Vanquish Soul. Against the other deck, I don't really see an application.
So you think, I mean, Vanquish Soul now all of a sudden, I don't know, you didn't hear it because you were playing yourself, but Vanquish Soul is the most represented deck in Top Cut all of a sudden. It's all of a sudden just up there, and so your call on playing it is probably a good one because it is crushing at the moment, and so that's very cool to see. I only have one last very, very quick highlight, and it's actually not really that big of a highlight. I just want to talk about the Pot of Extravagance in your deck.
Yeah.
How important is the card for the deck at the moment? Because we saw you activating it every single game.
Yeah, Extravagance is... the weakness of the deck is the consistency.
Yeah.
while Malice loses to like Lanceo, Carl Saunter, and Reizel Mitsurugi struggles against Droll.
Fair.
Vanquish Soul struggles against the consistency, so you have to maximize the consistency, and the extravagance is the best way to do it. So.
All right. Congratulations once more, Lorenzo. Maybe today is your day. Maybe you're going to the World Championship. You've made the first step now in Top Cut, being one of our top 32 players. Congratulations on that. Best of luck for the rest, of course, as well. So we will see you hopefully later then in the remaining featured matches. But everyone at home, we have more dueling action running. We have a backup featured match, so we can go right back over for more dueling out of Top 64.